If you think dropping $2,000 on a direct drive base is going to instantly make you a second faster per lap, we need to talk. Honestly, I see so many people burning cash on the wrong upgrades or setting up their rigs in ways that actively fight against them. It's frustrating because sim racing is expensive, and making these mistakes doesn't just hurt your wallet, it ruins the experience. Today, I'm breaking down the 7 biggest mistakes I see in sim racing, covering everything from buying habits to simple setup errors that are practically invisible until someone points them out. Quick side note before we start, the links for the gear I recommend to fix these issues are in the description. It helps support the channel, so if you use them, I get a small commission at no extra cost to you, and I always make sure the links are updated with the best current deals. Alright, let's get into the first one, and it's the most painful pill to swallow. The biggest mistake is believing that better gear automatically makes you faster. I've been there. You hit a plateau, you get frustrated, and you think, if I just had that active pedal or that premium wheelbase, I'd find those 3/10. Here is the reality. High-end gear gives you immersion, detail, and consistency. It does not give you talent. Speed comes from understanding the car, understanding the track, and practice. If you are slow on a Logitech G29, you are going to be slow on a Simucube. You'll just be slow with much better force feedback. Don't buy hardware to fix a skill issue. Buy hardware because you want to enjoy the practice time it takes to get better. Which brings me to mistake number 2, the shiny object syndrome, specifically regarding pedals. I see so many setups with a wildly expensive steering wheel, screens, LEDs, carbon fiber, paired with entry-level pedals. This is completely backward. If you have a limited budget, the pedals are where your speed lives. Your muscle memory for braking is the single most important factor in consistent lap times. I would take a basic wheel with high-end load cell pedals over a premium wheel with cheap pedals any day of the week. Prioritize the stuff you stomp on, not the stuff you look at. Now, speaking of things we ignore, mistake number 3 is the foundation, the rig itself. Too many people try to save space by buying flimsy wheel stands. But honestly, buying a tubular steel rig that you can't adjust is a trap. Do yourself a favor and get an aluminum profile cockpit. It looks industrial, but it lets you place every component exactly where your body needs it, down to the millimeter. If your wheel stand flexes every time you brake, your brain can't build muscle memory because the pedal is moving away from you. Buying a stable rig isn't sexy, but it's mandatory. Let's talk about setup, specifically mistake number 4, the concrete wall brake pedal. You get your first load cell, you read the forums, and everyone says make it stiff like an F1 car. So you set it to require 100 kilos of force. The problem? You aren't battling G-forces in your living room. When you hit the brakes in a real race car, the deceleration throws your body forward, helping you press the pedal. In a sim, you don't get that help. If your pedal's too stiff, you lose sensitivity, you get tired, and you start developing knee pain. Adjust the brakes so you can hit 100% pressure comfortably, not so you have to stand on it with both feet just to slow down. Mistake number 5 is pure ergonomics, and I call this the torture chamber setup. You can have the best gear in the world, but if your wheel is too high or your pedals are too close, you're finished. I see photos of rigs where the wheel is basically at chin level. If your shoulders are shrugged up while you drive, you lose fine motor control. Or worse, if your knees are hitting the steering column or the underside of the mount, you can't rotate the wheel smoothly. You need to spend hours, not minutes, adjusting your seating position until everything falls naturally to hand. If you aren't comfortable, you aren't focused. Number 6 is a classic rookie error, the war on force feedback. We call this clipping. This happens when you crank the strength up to max because you paid for 20 Newton meters and you want to feel all 20 of them. But if your signal is maxed out constantly, you lose all the detail. Think of it like this. If you're arm wrestling a gorilla, you aren't going to notice a fly landing on your wrist. When your muscles are straining against max force, your hands become numb to the tiny vibrations that actually tell you the car is sliding. You need sensitivity, not a workout. Finally, mistake number 7, and this one kills the hobby for people, burnout. It's easy to get obsessed with iRating, safety ratings, and grinding for tenths of a second. You turn a fun hobby into a second job. If you feel yourself getting angry every time you race, take a step back. Drive a car you suck at. Drive a track you hate just for fun. Join a league where the results don't matter. If you forget the fun part of the equation, your expensive rig just becomes an expensive piece of furniture collecting dust. Look, stop trying to buy lap times. Build a comfortable rig, set your pedals right, and practice until you're consistent. That is the only cheat code that exists. And don't forget to check the link below. It's always updated if a new deal drops on the gear I actually recommend. If you found this useful, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next deep dive. See you in the next one.